Welcome to Verbal Pig Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. It's definitely going down today. This is on a Monday morning. So, yesterday, while watching the Texans and the Indianapolis Colts, I see a breaking news story. And it stated that shots been fired at a church in Texas, and apparently some people had been wounded, and it went back to the game. Now, I'm sitting watching this game with a group of individuals, and it was a diverse crowd in that area that we were watching the Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. And so the speculation starts to hit. Damn, man, did you just hear that? Somebody got shot in a church in Texas. Because we in Houston, so we're not too far from San Antonio. Sutherland Springs, Texas, I'd say about a 2-hour drive from Houston, Texas. And so we're sitting there, and so as the speculation started brewing, now we're on who done it, because they haven't showed the face of Devin Patrick Kelley. His face hadn't been shown yet, so. Oh man, we like, bro, if it's somebody black or if it's someone of Middle Eastern descent, then it's really gonna be bad. They're gonna let them have it. They're gonna call them all kind of animals, terrorists, thugs, non-human, human scum. Every name you can. Radical Islam. The report that came out stating that the number one threat to America was black extremist groups. And black people are not known for being serial killers or mass killers. How could that be? Now, we might share a difference in ideology of what we believe, because you have to realize one point is that when you go back to ancient Egypt, when you go back to the Olmec heads, we know our people and we know what was taught. And you have to remember, too, that our knowledge had been passed down from generations to generations. Just like European knowledge or paganism or what have you, or their form of Christianity, not the Ethiopian form of Christianity, the Coptic or the Gnostics or whatnot. A particular form of Christianity that's been passed down through Europe, by their own ancestors or grandparents, or just passed down through generations, a form of Christianity with the white Jesus and the white angels and the Pope and the Catholic, that came after Egypt. That came after Akhenaten. All of that came later. So our traditional knowledge that was passed down through our bloodline, DNA, genetic coding, whether it be verbal, whether it be scripture scrolls that have been kept in families for generations or whatnot, it's normal for us. That's natural. So of course we're going to have different beliefs and takes on certain things. So that's natural. But so when we say terrorism, we're like, that means anybody with a gun, no matter what race, religion, creed, comes into a an establishment to create and cause terror and a mass killings is a terrorist. You don't get no special privileges because of the color of your skin. And it always happens. It happens. Whenever a white person commits a terrorist act, from the president on down, they'll state that he was deranged. He has some mental health issues. He didn't know what he was doing. It came out that it wasn't a guns issue, even though he used a gun to kill 26 people and wound 20. But okay, I mean, we know you have to go along with the scenario, with the picture that's being painted. Even though the picture that's being painted don't make sense at all, but okay, how can I say, to send an image out to the public or to the rest of the world that, hey, white people don't commit terrorist acts, even though there's a long history of the Klan and whites killing black people and bombing churches and federal buildings and whatnot. Yeah, white people don't commit terrorist acts. I mean, okay, that's what you say, but even though the actions and the evidence prove otherwise, we'll roll with that scenario then, because I'm thinking that if you really call it what it is, then people will start to crack up. So maybe they're trying to save the mindset, the mental health of a percentage of white Americans in America. So you don't want to call them terrorists, and you don't want to call them thugs or animals, or the same names and connotations that you give to black people who commit similar acts of violence. It could be the exact, not similar, but it could be the exact same act, but the description is very much different. When a minority creates an act like what Devin Patrick Kelley did in Sutherland Springs, Texas, that minority would be called an animal. He'd be called the lowest form of a human being that could come to their minds possible. They'd be called a lowlife, a rogue. I mean, and they did the exact same, a terrorist, a jihadist, a radical Islamist. But how often have you heard the term radical Christianity? How often do you hear them call them an animal of a being? Some of the detestable names that can be thought of will be hurled at any minority who committed an act such as Devin, 29-year-old Devin. Damn, low-life Devin, you couldn't find you a job. You couldn't get out there and go to college. I mean, you couldn't be a more productive citizen. Goddamn, the town only had 700 people. Shit, it's not like you in a big city and all the pressures of city life is just bagging you into a corner. It's not again. And your president stated that it's not a gun issue. Now his wife wasn't at the church. The in-laws wasn't at the church. The pastor and his wife wasn't at the church. But Devin was at the church, went in there and shot 46 people due to what they claim a mental health issue. I mean, he planned. Now let's run it down real quick. One day, you might say, you know what? I'm gonna go buy me a gun, right? You don't just go up to the gun store, pawn shop, wherever you purchase your gun from, and just say, hey, to the attendant, hey, I want to purchase a gun, grab me something and put it on the counter, I'm going to buy it. No, you say, okay, what's the gun for me? What do I want to do with this gun? Then you tell the attendant of the counter, let me see your AR-15. Nah, let me see a 380. Let me see a 9mm. Wait, you know what? Let me see that AK-47. You know, and you look at it and examine it. So you cognizant of what you're doing. How much is that? You know, whatever price they give you. Then you like, yeah, that's kind of steep. Look, how about we settle for so-and-so? So you haggle over price, you negotiate. Y'all reach a decision, so you purchase the gun. You walk out with the gun, buy you some bullets, go out, practice shooting it or whatnot. Now all they saying, now this is from the mind of a deranged person, a mentally ill person. You got your gun. Now whatever they search on his social media page, whatever they come up with to see what organization he was with or whatnot, whatever. Still is that individual in that individual's mind, and something upset him in the way he was going to handle it. Like all other terrorists, he going to cause mass destruction. Like all other terrorists. So, what he did was, whatever they did to upset him, or who knows his motive or reason. All he knows is that he has a weapon that's capable of killing a large number of people at one time. So he didn't do it on a Friday. Well, let's do it like this. Monday comes. He didn't do it on a Monday because, Monday Night Football could have been on or whatever. Who knows? Didn't do it on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Maybe it was Taco Tuesday, so he don't go kill up nobody on Taco Tuesday. Nah. Didn't do it on a Wednesday, hump day. He getting ready to go party. They got drink specials at the local saloon. Well, he goes to Thursday. He was like, nah, I like Thor, so I don't want to kill on Thursday. Nah, we not letting that happen. Friday came around, he was like, thank God it's Friday. I'm finna kick back, go back to the saloon. They even got better drink specials. Saturday, he had Saturday Night Fever, and plus he said he could have said that he was entrenched by Saturn. So, nah, we not doing that. Sunday, you know what? I feel like I'm a god. It's the Lord's Day. It's Sunday, the sun's shining. I got my weapon, my gun with me. Somebody pissed me off down at the church. Let me go down there and put terror and the fear of God in them on a Sunday. And that's what he did. Went down there and killed up 26 people and wounded 20. And when they went down, and those who relaying what they saw or what they heard someone else's account of the story, and they relayed to us on these different networks, and it even reached the ear of the president. And now, damage control. And that's what we're getting at today. The damage control. So the conversation is like this. Hey, Mr. President, okay, we had a shooting in Sutherland Springs, Texas, near San Antonio. A guy went into a church, killed 26 people, wounded 20. It's chaos, pandemonium, people's going crazy. And so the president's like, okay, what color was it? It was a white male. God damn it. Okay, was the church white or black? It looked like a predominantly white church. Shit. Okay, look, this is what we got to do. The guy was crazy, you hear me? He was totally out of his mind. He went in there and killed him. We need to do more for mental health patients and more on insurance on mental health patients and detecting a mental health patient. Yeah, but he had a high-powered weapon. It was not a gun issue. It's not a gun issue. He had a high-powered weapon. So what? It's not a gun issue. Look. Repeat after me. The white guy had mental health issues. He was not a terrorist. He was a loving young man. Something triggered him. What can we say triggered him? Rap music? Nah, it's been used before. Okay, let's see. What can we say that triggered the young man? I don't know. Think of something. Well, who knows? But the bottom line is mental health. Y'all got it? Can you dig it? And they like, all right, yeah, okay, whatever. He went out again. There was a mass shooting in Sutherland Springs, Texas. 29 Devin Patrick Kelley went in and killed 26 people, wounded 20. He was mentally deranged. And that's all we have for you tonight. Gotta go, goodbye. But don't compare him and confuse him with the 6 killed in New York ran over by an evil radical Islamic terrorist, ISIS jihadi. And we need to kick our Muslims out the country because they're evildoers and we hate them all. And they like, dude, he just did the same thing and killed more people. And he used the weapon. Yeah, we're not talking about that right now. That's how the game goes. Anyway, look, those of you who leave comments on YouTube, man, I'm gonna be honest with you all. Totally true. I'm coming, man. I just move slow on this social media, and to the thing that disturbs me, what they put out that Sunday, yesterday morning. On social media, how they hire neurologists and they hire scientists to trick you into keeping you locked in social media, because that means more dollars for them, and the mind manipulation and the subliminal messagings and whatnot. I'm not into all of that. I believe in the free thinkers. I believe in free will. I believe in an individual expressing themselves up under this canopy of clouds, moon, stars, sun that shines on all of us to enjoy life and have fun. So I'm not about mind manipulation, and I want to control you to think and believe the way I do and things of that nature. No, I'd rather lay out a case and use mathematics and science to present the case, and then you take that and dissect it however you will. That's your business. It don't have anything to do with me. But I have fun doing this. I have fun with the shows I do with Brother Krishna, Sister Pebbles, just a host of people, Tate, where we do shows, and then my sponsors, High Frequency and Eden Clothing Co. And then we got the documentary, the docu-film. Man, shout out to Muhammad 2G. He getting the sound and everything ready for me. And so, it's going to be an adventure, I could say. But the thing about it is, man, look, I have eyes. People view things in the manner in which they view things, and their conclusion is just as valid as what the press put out. And the thing, and the reason being is patterns. Patterns is important in science and mathematics, and we see the patterns of what's going on. And if you unaware of the patterns, then you just a slave bot, and you can't distinguish between a system, a continued system of the same pattern over and over and over again, right in front of you, and you can't make it out. It's hiding in plain sight, but you so caught up in what? Social media thing, and they finding ways to keep you more in tune into social media. So you are a slave bot, and some of us suffer from slave K ultra, to where whenever you try to stand up, they shock you and the coon comes back out, and you can't help it. You wanna not be a coon, but somebody, whether it be the pastor or an old civil rights or an old slave pastor whose mission was to keep the people subdued, and he passed it on through his bloodline, and they created a bunch of slave K ultra makers in the system of racism and white supremacy, who taught, put that slave to the side and say, hey, look, these people starting to talk freedom, and they talking about taking their freedom by any means necessary. Now, you respectable amongst the Negro community. We want you to cool this out, and if you do, I know it's hard. It's gonna be tough on us, but I believe that calming down this situation of all these hostile blacks who yelling they want to be free and they want justice and they want equality, these are hostiles. We need you to calm them down, and if you do it, I don't want to do it, but it is a sacrifice for me. I give you one of my old coats. I give you an extra biscuit. That's what I do. I give you an extra biscuit. If you can calm these radical niggers down from talking about freedom and justice and equality. So he like, well, how you want me to do that, boss? They mad. I can't stop them. Look, we gonna put you in front of them. Got them all in this wooden building we built. See that building over there? See that they call that a church. We gonna put you in it. And look what this book say. Slave, honor your master. Coming from the good book, the King Jesus himself. You read that to them, and you make sure you get it over to them. And if they ever see me out here shaking cold, and they got a coat, give it to me and put it on my back. You got that? And they think about it. Now, you said extra biscuit. He said, yeah. And don't, even though it pains me, because that's less flour we gonna have for our youngins. You got yourself a deal, boss. And from today forward, I'm gonna teach everybody in my family how to keep the peace on the plantation. And the way you keep the peace on the plantation is be humble to the white man. And he gonna take care of everything. Did I get it right, bro? Yeah, you sure did. And then that's how the game go. Then you have those who come and say, well, mathematically that's impossible. And that's the conversation they having with the black preacher. And the black preacher like, look here, smart nigga. I don't want to hear all that. What you mean, mathematically, that's impossible? And he tell him, well, you know, man was created from truth and with an inclination to lean towards the Creator. So man will always have a desire to be free. You can't quell that with no books or pages, because it's written in his heart. And he said, well, what you talking about? And he repeated it again. A man will always have a desire to be free. And only fear God and God alone. See, he didn't understand that he had been broken generations ago. So it was easy for him because he lost his spirit and his soul. But those that they never could break always yearn to be free. To think for themselves, to do for themselves, to carve out their own destiny in peace. So what I'm saying is, there was always a split between two mindsets. And the one who always yearned to be free was trying to teach the one that had been under slave K Ultra for generations. Look, man, don't you want to be in a position to call your own shots? Don't you want to be in a position to where you can move around and build and think the thoughts and read and write and enjoy life for yourself without someone telling you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it? He's like, well, I never had that before. Like, well, come on, run away with me or steal away with me to where you go to a place to where it's just you and your thoughts. And after 3 years of that, you'll be thinking like a free man. Let's move you away from all the distractions and being bombarded with all the ideologies that's coming forth from those who want to keep you enslaved mentally. Move you away from that, go a place to where you can think for yourself. And then tell me, is that better than someone telling you what to do every minute, every hour of your life? Where you making decisions for yourself, learning the power that you have within. Think about it. Verbal Peak Radio, and we're out.